Have you ever wondered why some people over the age of 65 live their normal daily lives, eat more or less the same as usual, and yet suddenly have a stroke while sleeping, watching television, or simply standing in the kitchen making a cup of tea? The most frightening thing about a stroke is not the pain. It is the silence that comes before it. My name is Dr. James Anderson, and today I want you to listen very carefully to an important medical truth. Most strokes do not come from one big, dramatic event. They come from very small choices, made over and over again each day, often without us realizing it. Every time you pour your morning coffee, every time you skip a walk because it feels too cold, every time you reach for the salt, or forget to drink a glass of water. These actions may seem harmless, but they can quietly increase your risk of stroke, especially after the age of 65. Medical statistics show that nearly 75% of all strokes happen in people over 65. And here's the good news. About 80% of strokes can be prevented. You do not need an expensive gym. You do not need modern machines. You do not need a complicated diet. Prevention begins right in your kitchen, in your morning routine, and in the small things you do every day. In this video, I will guide you through 9 simple habits agreed upon by doctors and medical experts that help improve blood flow, keep blood pressure more stable, protect your brain, and most importantly, help you stay independent as you age. But first, we need to understand why the risk of stroke increases after 65. First cause, long-lasting silent inflammation. After the age of 65, the body enters a stage that doctors call low-grade chronic inflammation. This is not the kind of inflammation that causes pain, swelling, or fever. You do not feel it clearly at all, but inside your body, it is quietly damaging the inner lining of your blood vessels, making the vessel walls stiffer and less flexible, creating the conditions for blood clots to form. The most common reasons for this are eating too much refined sugar, not enough fiber, unhealthy fats, too little movement, especially sitting for long periods after meals. Over time, this silent inflammation raises blood pressure and increases the risk of a blocked blood vessel in the brain. Second cause, mild but long-term dehydration. Many older people tell me, "Doctor, I do not feel thirsty, so I must be drinking enough." But this is a very dangerous misunderstanding. After the age of 60 to 65, the sense of thirst is no longer as reliable as it once was. You may not feel thirsty, but your blood may already be thicker. When the body does not get enough water, blood becomes thicker and flows more slowly. The heart has to work harder. The risk of blood clots increases. A study published in the journal Stroke showed that more than 60% of patients admitted with ischemic stroke showed signs of dehydration, and these are only the first 2 causes. If you or someone you love recognizes any of what I have just described, please leave a comment with the number 1 and share this video because you may be helping someone avoid a stroke. I wish you good health and peace on your journey. Now, let me share the early warning signs and the lesser-known factors that may be quietly affecting the blood vessels in your brain. Before we talk about solutions, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself one very important question. Are the things I'm feeling really just because of my age? Because in more than 20 years of working with older patients, I have noticed something very unfortunate. Many warning signs of stroke are ignored, simply because people think this is normal when you get old. That is not true. Your body does not weaken for no reason. It is always sending signals. The question is whether we are listening. Common symptoms that are often overlooked. Here are 4 very common signs seen in people over 65 who are at higher risk of stroke. First, light dizziness or feeling faint when standing up. You stand up from a chair, feel lightheaded for a few seconds, and then everything feels normal again. This can be a sign that blood flow to the brain is not stable, or that blood pressure is changing too quickly. Second, feeling very tired or sleepy after meals. After eating, you feel drowsy, slow, and find it hard to focus. This is often caused by a rise in blood sugar after meals. which puts stress on the blood vessels and causes mild inflammation. Third, unstable blood pressure. In the morning, it seems normal, but in the afternoon, it is high. Some days your heart beats faster than usual. These ups and downs suggest that your blood vessels are losing their ability to regulate themselves. Fourth, poor sleep or waking too early. Light sleep, waking at 3 or 4 in the morning, and struggling to fall asleep again. Poor sleep increases stress hormones in the body, which raises blood pressure and worsens inflammation in the blood vessels. What is really happening inside the body? Now, let us look a little deeper at what is happening inside your body. Using simple language, after the age of 65, our blood vessels become thinner, less flexible, more easily damaged. When you eat a lot of sugar, causing blood sugar to rise quickly, drink too little water, making the blood thicker, sit still after meals, slowing circulation. These three factors together can cause long-term, low-level inflammation, damage the inner lining of blood vessels, create the right conditions for blood clots to form. These clots may cause no symptoms for many years, but at the right moment, they can travel to the brain and cause a stroke. This is why many strokes happen during sleep, early in the morning, or while the body is resting, not because of bad luck, but because risk factors have been building up over time. Letting go of the most dangerous misunderstanding. Many people tell me, "Doctor, I am weaker because I am old." Not exactly. The truth is this. Your body is not failing because of age alone. It is missing the right conditions to repair itself, lacking things like enough water, enough fiber, the right kind of movement at the right time, regular, good quality sleep. When these are restored, the body can recover better than you might expect, even after the age of 70 or 80. If you recognize one or more of the signs I have just mentioned, please leave a comment with the number 1. Recognizing the problem early is the first step toward prevention. Now, I will show you how the body can rebalance itself naturally through very simple habits that you can start today. If walking is not enough to keep your legs strong as you get older, then the most important question is this: what should I do so my legs are truly strong, I can stand steadily and climb stairs without fear of falling? The good news is this: you do not need a gym. You do not need heavy weights. You do not need to push yourself until you are exhausted. What your body really needs are 3 types of movement that walking does not provide: activating the deep muscles of the hips and thighs, training the ability to stand up and sit down safely, restoring balance, and quick reactions to prevent falls. These are 3 exercises that orthopedic doctors, physiotherapists, and geriatric specialists often recommend for people over 65. Exercise 1. Standing up and sitting down from a chair, sit to stand. Why is this more important than walking? Every day you stand up and sit down many times. Getting out of bed, standing up from chair, standing up in the bathroom. Walking does not train this movement at all. When the thigh and hip muscles are weak, standing up becomes one of the biggest fall risks. How to do it? Use a sturdy chair at a comfortable height. Sit upright, feet shoulder-width apart. Fold your arms across your chest or rest them lightly on your thighs. Stand up slowly without pushing with your hands. Sit down slowly and with control. Do not drop into the chair. Safe amount: 8 to 10 repetitions per set. 2 sets per day. If it feels difficult, you may use your hands on the chair at first. If you feel stronger, pause for 2 to 3 seconds while standing. This exercise activates the hips, the front of the thighs, and the back of the thighs, the muscles that decide whether your legs feel steady or shaky. Exercise 2. Knee lift in place with balance hold. The main problem for older adults is not walking slowly, but slower reactions when a fall is about to happen. Walking on flat ground does not train the brain and muscles to work together for balance. How to do it? Stand near a wall or chair for support if needed. Lift one knee to a comfortable height. Hold your balance for 5 to 10 seconds. Change to the other leg. Amount: 5 to 8 times on each side. 1 to 2 rounds per day. Main benefits: activates deep hip muscles, wakes up the balance system in the brain, reduces the risk of sudden falls. Research shows that even a 10 to 15% risk of falls by 30 to 40%. Walking alone cannot do this. Exercise 3. Heel raises, calf raises. This exercise looks simple, but it is one of the most commonly ignored and one of the most important. Why? The calf muscles act like brakes when you misstep. When these muscles are weak, you are more likely to slip. You lose balance more easily when going up or down steps. How to do it? Stand upright, holding a chair or wall. Slowly rise up onto your toes. Hold for 2 seconds. Lower down slowly. Amount: 10 to 15 repetitions. 2 sets per day. If you are weaker, lift one heel at a time. If you're stronger, rise onto your toes and hold for 5 seconds. Walking only uses the calf muscles lightly. It is not enough to rebuild the strength that protects your ankles. The most important point, and the mistake many people make: you do not need to do more exercise. You need to do the right kind of exercise for what your body is missing. Walking is good for the heart, but it is not enough for strength, balance, and reaction speed. These 3 exercises take only 5 to 10 minutes a day, can be done safely at home, are commonly recommended in rehabilitation for older adults. In the next part, I will help you bring everything together into one simple daily routine. Understand how to walk in a way that helps, rather than stopping walking altogether. And most importantly, how to keep your legs strong into your 80s and 90s without fear of falling. Do not skip the final part. This is where everything becomes clear. Before we finish, I want you to pause for a few seconds. Not to try to memorize every exercise. Not to worry that you are too old and ask yourself, is it too late? But to understand one very important medical truth. Muscle strength and balance do not disappear simply because of age. They disappear because they are no longer used in the right way. And walking, although very good for the heart, does not give the body enough signal to maintain leg strength. Why do so many people walk all their lives but still have weak legs? Because as we get older, the body needs 3 things that walking does not train well enough. Strength in the hips and thighs. This is what allows you to stand up, climb stairs, and avoid shaky legs. Balance and reaction ability. This is what helps you avoid falling when you trip, slip, or turn suddenly. Ankle and calf strength. This acts like a brake when you misstep. If even one of these is missing, the risk of falling increases clearly. And as you know, a fall is not just a little pain. It can be the beginning of losing independence. Should you stop walking? No, absolutely not. Walking is still very good for heart health, blood pressure, mental well-being, but you need to understand its role correctly. Walking is the foundation. Strength and balance exercises are the pillars. If you only have a foundation and no pillars, the house will never be stable. How to combine them the right way? Very simple. You do not need a complicated exercise schedule. Just remember the 5 to 10 minute rule. Every day, spend 5 to 10 minutes doing 3 exercises. Standing up and sitting down from a chair. Knee lifts with balance hold. Heel raises. Then, go for a gentle walk for 15 to 30 minutes. With the mindset that walking is to maintain, not to make up for weakness. That is all. Not exhausting. Not dangerous. No equipment needed. Signs you are on the right track. After a few weeks, many older people notice. Standing up feels easier. Climbing stairs requires less use of the handrail. Less fear when going outside. Legs feel more solid and steady, not weak or unstable. This is not a miracle. It is normal body physiology when muscles are used correctly. The most important thing I want you to remember: age does not decide whether you can stand steadily. Correct movement habits do. Many people aged 80 or even 90 do not run, do not train heavily, but still walk steadily and confidently. Not because they are lucky, but because they do more than just walk. If you're over 65, or you have parents or loved ones who are older, remember this: walking helps you live longer, but training the right way helps you live steadily. If this video has helped you understand your body better, please share it with someone you care about, because one fall can change everything, and prevention is always better than treatment.